All right, what's going on, my friends of the Total Debt Freedom world? In today's video, we're going to be covering the 5 things that the credit card companies do not tell you when it comes to their products. Let's just dive right into it because I've had a request for this sort of video before, and the first one is awesome. The first thing they won't tell you is that credit card insurance is pretty much an overinflated scam. So credit card insurance is what they'll sell you in case you lose your job, usually, is a narrative. So if you pay an extra $3, $30 a month, whatever the number might be, they try to minimize it, or they'll say it's like the price of a coffee a week or a coffee a day. And you keep making the payments. If you lose your job or something happens to you, you get injured and you can't work, we'll make the payments for you. Now, what they don't tell you is they don't pay it off in full. They don't do anything else other than make the minimum monthly payments for you. But there's a set period of time. It's usually set to 6 months. And the other problem is you have to jump through considerable hoops before they'll authorize the insurance to be paid out. So you've got to fit into certain boxes. You know, if you were laid off versus terminated, if you left for medical reasons, or the position was wound down, there's usually language in the agreement for the credit card insurance that makes it very difficult or prohibits you from filing the claim. Now, the other thing that we noticed in our office, our paralegal picked up on this in a file about a month ago, was there was statements that accumulated over $4,000 in premium payments towards credit card insurance during the life of the relationship between our client, who was the credit card holder, and the credit card issuer, the credit card company. But when they paid out the insurance, after all the hoops they jumped through, there was only $1,800 paid out. So you paid close to $5,000 in total. So generally speaking, when it comes to credit card insurance, the juice is not worth the squeeze, if you know what I'm saying. So it's probably best to skip over that upsell. I call it an upsell because that's what it is, because they're really trying to sell you on, their extra products. Stay away from credit card insurance. It's not worth your time. Okay, number 2, moving on. Credit card companies usually don't tell you that your credit stinks. They will encourage you to fill out forms, do this, fill out these balance transfer statements for 0% interest for a certain period of time and blah, blah, blah. But they won't often tell you that your credit sucks. They might decline you, but they don't give you a lot of information as to why your credit may not be approved. There's even instances that we've seen in our office where we've seen people been issued credit and really in an environment where they couldn't afford to pay for it. So let me give you an example. Somebody that's issued a credit card with a $20,000 limit, but their income on their notice of assessment last year was $19,000. And the current year trending was still minimum wage. So they often give you more rope than you can afford to use. So people end up hanging themselves. It's just something that you've got to understand. The credit card companies really aren't into it for your best interest. What they want you to do is give you a product that allows them to profit from you. And they profit from you when they sell you upsell products, insurance, when you're not paying it off in full and you're carrying a balance and paying interest. Number 3, the other thing that they don't tell you is you don't need our products. They won't come along and say, hey, you don't need overdraft protection, don't fill out this form. Instead, what they'll do is quite often is they'll encourage you, whether it's over the phone or at a branch if you're dealing with your bank and it's a bank credit card, oh, we've got this special promotional offer for blah, 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 or you can take this overdraft, the interest rate's only 15% this month instead of 19%, whatever it may be. I subscribe to the notion of minimizing our lives so that we don't have them complicated and we don't have unnecessary stress or access to temptation. So just bear in mind, number 3 is you really don't need a lot of the products that they're going to push on you. Okay, next one, number 4, universal default. Well, what is universal default, Rich? Well, let me explain it to you. Universal default is when you're struggling with one credit card. Let's say you've got a retail store credit card, for example, and for some reason there's an alert or a notification that's picked up by another credit card issuer. They can automatically and unilaterally, which means without your consent, increase your interest rate on your balances. So while you may be struggling to pay one credit card but are managing with another, because they notice that you're struggling with one, they might increase your interest rate from 19.99 to 25 or 30%. Without your consent, they can just do it because it's written in the contract. So talk about kicking you while you're down already. You're already struggling, and then they start kicking you further by jacking up your interest rate. It starts to demonstrate very, very clearly how interested the credit card companies are in keeping you out of debt. And they're obviously more interested by the practices. Whenever there's a conflict between what somebody says and what they actually do, I always believe what they do. So just be aware of that. So universal default is something that's pretty common with all credit card issuers. And number 5, the last and final one, it's called a right of offset. Most people don't know what this is, but let's say you have a credit card with your bank and you're struggling to pay off your credit card with your bank. You're falling behind. Once you've defaulted on the credit card and you're no longer making your regular payments as it's prescribed, or they're below the minimum, or you maybe skip a month or something like that, they have what's called a right of offset, where they can go into your bank account and they can steal the money from you without asking for your permission and apply it towards a credit card. That's what it's viewed upon by people when they see it. I know that they've got a legal term for it called an offset at the bank, so that's the way that the bank's lawyers like to write the terminology in their contracts. But essentially, they're taking money out of your account without your consent because they can, because you not only have your checking savings account with them, but you also have your credit card with them, which basically says, this goes sideways, you take a deposit on this account for payroll or something, maybe an investment pays out or something like that. They can take that money without asking you and apply it here. It doesn't matter if you've got a mortgage payment due, your rent due, another expense which might be a priority for your children or something. They can take the money out and apply it there. And that's happened to a lot of people in the past. So those are the 5 tips, the 5 top tips that banks and credit card companies usually don't want people to know about. If you enjoyed the video, give the like button a big smash. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching it on Facebook, of course, like the page. And share this video with somebody that might need to see it, that needs to get the information on the 5 things that the credit card companies don't usually tell people. Thanks for checking out the video. Have an amazing day. Bye for now. Hey guys, I want to thank you for watching the video right through to the end. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment below if you have a special request for a video for me to do on a topic in the future. Also, if there's somebody that needs to see this, please share it with them so they can get the information. Over on this shoulder over here, you're going to find a recommended video that's probably relevant to what you just watched right now, so it's worth checking out. And that one is the subscribe button, so be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for checking out the video. Have an amazing day. Bye for now.